Okay, so today we are going to be learning about how to do scientific notation. Okay, so right now I have two numbers, and as you can tell, they are not in scientific notation form. Okay, so what you have to do before you start any problem is to make sure that all of your numbers are in scientific notation form. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this small number and we are going to take this decimal and move it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. And the reason we're only moving it over 5 spots is because when you have a number in scientific notation, your number has to be between 1 and 10. And 4.5 is between 1 and 10. Okay, so our new number will now be 4.5 times 10 to the negative fifth. And the reason that it is 10 to the negative fifth is because when moving your decimal over to the right, and when you start off with a number that is smaller than 1, your exponent becomes a negative. Unlike this one, where your number is larger than 1, and the decimal is on this side, you move it over 1, 2, 3, because remember it has to be between 1 and 10. So your new number is 7.9 times 10 to the third. And those are your new scientific notation numbers. Next. Okay, we're going to learn how to multiply with these same exact numbers that we did previously. Okay, so first what you're going to do is you're going to take this number and this number, and you're going to multiply them together. And feel free to use a calculator, that's what I do. Okay, so the number you get is, one second, let me use the calculator. The number you get is 35.55. Okay? Okay. When you are multiplying in with two numbers in scientific notation, your exponents are added together, not multiplied, added. Okay? So when you add negative 5 and positive 3, you get negative 2. Okay? So that is your number. But we do have a problem here because 35 is not between 1 and 10. So what you have to do is you have to move this decimal and you have to move it over to here. Okay? 3.555 becomes our new number times 10 to the negative first. Okay? And the reason it is negative 1 is because you are moving it over to the left. So when you move it over to the left, the number becomes larger. Okay? So this, right here, that is your answer. Okay? Division. Okay, what we are doing is we are basically doing the same thing except for reverse. Okay, so you take these two numbers. Okay, so you take 4.5 divided by 7.9 and you get 0.56. Okay, 0.56. That's probably good enough. Okay, times, okay, 10. Unlike multiplication, when you are dividing and you have exponents, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract them instead of add them. Okay, so negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. Okay, so just like in the multiplication problem, we have a problem here too. This number is not in scientific notation form because 0.56 is not a number between 1 and 10. Okay, so we have to move this decimal over to the right one space to make the number 5.6 times 10 to the negative 9th. Okay, and so when you move over your decimal to the right, the exponent number becomes smaller. Okay, fairly simple so far. Okay, next we have more numbers in scientific notation. This time we have two numbers that are larger than 10. Okay, both decimals are right here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this this decimal, and put it here, here, here. So you have 2.3 times 10 to the third, which is fairly simple because it is what we did earlier. And you take this number and you go like this. And so you get 1.4 times 10 to the second. Okay? So those are our two numbers that we were going to multiply and that we are going to add and subtract it. Okay? When you are adding, you take these two numbers and you just add them together, and what you get is 2.3 plus 1.4, and that answer is 3.7. But we have a problem here, okay? So when you are adding, your exponents must be the same number, okay? Otherwise you cannot do anything. So what you should do is you should take the smaller number and make it into the larger number. Okay, so by doing that, or to do that, you must move this decimal over here, and you must change this number to make this number. Okay, so don't even worry about that. That was just a little mistake that you should have seen. Okay, so you get 2.3 times 10 to the third, which is the same. And then this number changes as 0.14 times 10 to the third. And now our decimals are the same number. Our exponents are the same number. Okay? So then you just add them together and you get 2.44 times 10 to the third. When you're adding or subtracting, what you have to do with the exponents is make sure they're the same number. But when they are the same number, you don't do anything with them. You just bring it down. So this, in the end, is your answer. Okay. Subtraction. Okay. Subtraction is basically the same thing, except clearly you are subtracting. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with these two numbers again. But wait. These two aren't the same. So again, just like addition, in subtraction, you have to make the exponents the same as well. So this one is 2.3 times 10 to the third, because remember the larger number stays the same, while you change the smaller number. Okay, minus 0.14 times 10 to the third. Okay, fairly simple so far. Okay, just gets simpler. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to subtract 2.3 minus 0.14, and your answer is 2.16 times 10 to the third. And again, the exponent stays the same. Okay, and that is your answer. Okay, so now we are going to go a little away from scientific notation, and we are going to do some density problem. We're going to do a density problem. And what you must do when doing a density problem is the most important thing is to have your problem and to write down the necessary things that your problem gives you. So, 1 second please while I find my problem. Okay. Sorry about that. That's okay. Okay, so in the problem, it gives me the length, the width, the height, and the mass. Okay, so the density problem is D equals mass divided by volume. And volume is length times width times height. Okay, so our volume is 8.53 centimeters times 2.4 centimeters times 1 centimeter. Okay, so you get 52.7064 centimeters cubed. Make sure you always have measurement there. And in the problem, the volume is 20.472 meters cubed. Sorry, mass is not centimeters cubed. Mass is always in grams. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you are going to take 52.706 grams divided by 20.4